Hey, okay, so this is the thing. A while back I talked about this TV series. It's the Perry Mason TV series, and I thought it was like a reboot. Okay, I watched the trailer that was put out like last month. It's not a reboot. Now, if you know me, I'm a huge fan of Perry Mason. I've watched the series growing up and everything. Absolutely love the Raymond Burr television series. Read a whole bunch of books by Earl Stanley Gardner and everything. Huge fan. And, but, I mean, yeah, big fan. So I figured that this reboot was basically going to pick up where the classic series with Raymond Burr took off. I was really excited. Finally have a TV series worth watching. And because I don't watch TV, I don't. I'm not gonna watch that reality bullshit. So I watched the trailer, and I'm annoyed because it's obvious that everyone behind it did zero research on this character. I absolutely love the character Perry Mason. I really do. And I love all the other characters. Earl Stanley Gardner actually created some really good characters. And Earl Stanley Gardner was an attorney and he wrote courtroom drama. And makes you wonder. But the thing about Perry Mason is Earl Stanley Gardner didn't write a backstory for Perry. He wanted his readers to basically fixate on the fact that he was an attorney there and now, and he was focused on his clients. He was dedicated to his clients, and that was it, you know? And you never heard about his education. None of the books ever fixated on his private life or anything like that. I think there's one book that talks about that he had a hard time sleeping or something like that. That's it. I mean, that's like the one time where it opens up to his personal life. And that's it. The TV series talked about how he was in the war. He was in the Navy in World War II. It even said like the location and everything. That's it. So I'm trying to figure out how this series, with that little information, with no information to go on, can make a series about a young Perry Mason. You can't. You can't do that. I mean, this isn't like you can't just go off and make like a young Indiana Jones series. You're not George Lucas. Earl Stanley Gardner's been gone since 1970. See, with the Young Indiana Jones series, George Lucas could sit there and make anything he wanted because it was his character. This isn't your character. You can't just do that. Because as far as we know, this is just fan fiction on the big screen. And I've made that video. Oh my gosh. People were mad about 50 Shades of Grey. Well, be mad about this. Because Earl Stanley Gardner did not write any of this. I mean, yeah, the positive of it is that it's filmed. The way that it's filmed is interesting. It reminds me a lot of like the two characters, like the Ms. Maisel, I think that's what her name is, and then the 1920s, which I'm blanking on her name, which shame on me because I watched it. I watched that series. But that detective show where she's a detective and everything in the 20s. So it reminds me of that. But why are you using Perry Mason? Why are you using that name? Use like an original name and just make it your own detective series. Stop using because Earl Stanley Gardner did not write this. And that's what bothers me about it. And I'm not the only one. I checked a lot of the comments and everything. And there are people that are saying, this is really cool, this old-timey 30s LA and everything. Well, they like the way that it's filmed and everything, and yeah, it is neat looking. But there are other people that are asking questions because it is confusing. Perry Mason's a lawyer. Why are they showing him as a detective? And so people are trying to find answers to it, and they can't. Look, in the books, yes, he he is dedicated to finding answers for his clients. So he's a get charge, he's take charge kind of a guy. And so there are times where he just feels like Paul Drake is just not getting it done fast enough. And so he will actually get out from behind the desk and get it done. Earl Stanley Gardner, I'm sure, saw that all the time. Him being a lawyer. Oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, he would go out into the field, he would do that stuff all the time. I mean, you saw it in the TV show. He would actually go out, and I mean, there were several times where he would go out to prove something. He would do like this filming stuff. Paul Drake wasn't the only one, and everything else. He didn't just sit behind and, yeah, he didn't sit behind the desk all day. He was a take charge kind of a lawyer. And he was very, very intelligent. I also didn't like how they portrayed him as kind of a drunk kind of a guy. That's a drunk, down on his luck kind of. Yeah, I didn't like that. Why are you portraying him as that? That's not how. Not even in the books was he like that. Why are you doing that? And everyone's going to say, well, you need to see the whole series to understand. And it's like, no, I think I got it. Again, this isn't Perry Mason. Okay? You can't. This is fan fiction. But again, the filming is interesting. The way they filmed, it's like those two, the Ms. Maisel and the gal that I'm completely blanking on, even though I saw the entire series, and which I absolutely love. But I can't remember the name. I mean, this would be a perfect addition. It would have been a 30s detective down on his luck and pulled up from his boots, and but no, you decide to use Perry Mason. Why would you use Perry Mason? Anyway, yeah, I'm annoyed. But Earl Stanley Gardner didn't write this. Like I said, it's not like Young Indiana Jones where George Lucas wrote it, because Earl Stanley didn't write it. But anyway, it has the filming is nice looking and everything. I will say that. But as for being, like I said, grew up watching Perry Mason, read a lot of his books. They're dime novels. But I'm a sucker for that, and we all know it. But yeah, it's very disappointing because I was really looking forward to this, and but you got to make your own decision on this one.